The Bermuda Triangle. Even just saying the name feels mysterious, doesn't it? It's one of those places that has captured the imagination of people for decades. A patch of ocean where ships vanish, planes disappear, and strange stories seem to multiply with every passing year. But what's really going on here? Is it something supernatural, or just a long list of unfortunate coincidences wrapped in myth? Today, we're diving deep into the dark truth about the Bermuda Triangle. What's real, what's exaggerated, and what modern science actually has to say about it. So let's begin. The Bermuda Triangle isn't an official location. You won't find it marked on any legitimate map or recognized by any government body. The name was popularized in the 1960s, but the area it refers to roughly forms a triangle between Miami, Florida, Bermuda, and San Juan, Puerto Rico, covering about 500,000 square miles of ocean. For centuries, this stretch of water has been one of the busiest shipping and flight routes in the world. It's also a region known for sudden storms, unpredictable weather, and strong ocean currents. So naturally, over the years, accidents have happened here. But some of these accidents, they've been so strange, so unexplained, that they fueled an entire global legend. One of the earliest and most famous stories is that of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a routine training mission. The weather was clear. The pilots were experienced. Everything was normal. But hours later, their radio transmissions began to sound confused. They couldn't tell where they were. They reported that their compasses weren't working. Then, silence. The planes, all 5 of them, disappeared. The Navy sent out a massive search and rescue plane to find them. That plane also vanished without a trace. To this day, not a single piece of wreckage from Flight 19 has ever been conclusively found. It's stories like that which cemented the Bermuda Triangle's reputation as a deadly mystery. And Flight 19 wasn't the only one. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive U.S. Navy cargo ship carrying over 300 people and 10,000 tons of manganese ore, disappeared while sailing from Barbados to Baltimore. There was no distress signal, no debris, and no survivors. President Woodrow Wilson himself said, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." In 1963, the Marine Sulphur Queen, a 500-foot tanker carrying molten sulfur, vanished without a trace near the same area. Even its distress signal was never received. Over the decades, dozens of ships and aircraft have been linked to the Bermuda Triangle, all feeding into one big question. What's really happening here? People have blamed aliens, sea monsters, time warps, underwater cities, and even the lost civilization of Atlantis. According to some, the triangle is a portal, a doorway to another dimension where things simply vanish into thin air. Others claim that magnetic anomalies in the area interfere with navigational instruments, sending ships and planes hopelessly off course. That would explain why so many reports mention compass malfunctions and disorientation. And there's even the methane gas theory. Scientists have discovered large pockets of methane trapped beneath the ocean floor in some parts of the Atlantic. If a burst of methane gas suddenly escaped to the surface, it could drastically reduce the water's density, causing ships to lose buoyancy and sink almost instantly, without leaving any trace behind. It sounds crazy, but it's scientifically possible. Still, not everyone buys into the paranormal explanations. Many researchers say the truth is much simpler, and maybe a little disappointing. For one, the Bermuda Triangle is one of the most heavily traveled areas in the world. Thousands of ships and planes cross it every year. Statistically, it makes sense that some would go missing here, just as they do in other parts of the ocean. When you account for bad weather, human error, equipment failure, and even piracy, many of the so-called mysteries begin to look a lot less mysterious. In fact, when Lloyd's of London, one of the biggest insurance companies in the world, analyzed the data, they found that the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is no higher than anywhere else on Earth. In other words, it's no more dangerous than any other part of the ocean. But that doesn't mean the legend isn't powerful, because even if statistics say otherwise, the stories keep coming. And those stories, they're captivating. Take the witchcraft, for example. a 23-foot cabin cruiser that left Miami in 1967 with 2 men on board. They sailed just 1 mile from shore when they radioed the Coast Guard, saying their boat had hit something and they needed assistance. Rescuers reached the area within minutes, but the boat was gone. No wreckage, no oil slick, nothing, just silence. Or the case of the Star Tiger, a passenger aircraft flying from the Azores to Bermuda in 1948. Everything seemed normal. Then, as it approached the island, it simply vanished. No SOS call, no debris. It's as if the plane evaporated. So what do we make of all this? Some experts think the legend of the Bermuda Triangle survives not because of facts, but because of storytelling. It's the perfect mystery. The unknown, the unexplained, the power of the ocean itself, and the more we try to explain it, the deeper it seems to go. But if we strip away the myth and focus on reality, there are real dangers in this part of the world. The weather can change suddenly and violently. Hurricanes and tropical storms are common. The Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, runs directly through the area, which can easily sweep away wreckage or make navigation extremely difficult. Add to that the fact that many early disappearances happened before modern navigation tools, radar, and GPS, and it's easy to see how accidents could spiral into mysteries. Even so, the Bermuda Triangle holds on to its mystique, because while most of its mysteries have rational explanations, a few remain stubbornly unsolved. There are still ships and planes that vanished without a single clue. No wreckage, no black boxes, nothing. And that's what keeps the fascination alive. Maybe it's not about monsters or portals or alien abductions. Maybe it's just the ocean reminding us how small we really are, that no matter how advanced we become, there are still places that can swallow us whole without leaving a trace. The dark truth about the Bermuda Triangle might be that there's no single answer, just a mix of science, human error, and the unforgiving nature of the sea. But in a world where everything feels explainable, maybe we need mysteries like this one, because they keep us curious, they keep us wondering, and sometimes that's more powerful than any explanation could ever be. So the next time you hear about the Bermuda Triangle, remember, it's not just a place. It's a symbol of everything we still don't understand about our planet. A reminder that even in the age of satellites and sonar and GPS, there are still dark corners of the earth that refuse to give up their secrets.